Hello guys, this is Sunblade and we are live with a new JP Dokkan video. Today we are continuing our little series about the skill orbs, and for that Nolar has returned to my channel to continue our discussion. Say hello Nolar.
Hey, thanks for having me back, appreciate it.
Of course, thank you for being here. And yeah, new episode means that we will have a new guest too. I approached him a few weeks ago and a lot of you guys know that competitive fighting games and especially Street Fighter are a big part of my life, and it's a big pleasure to introduce him for the first time on this channel. Please welcome Tiger from Tiger Uppercut Media.
Hey, what's up guys? It's really great to be here. Thanks for having me on. And yeah, the name definitely was inspired by Street Fighter, but I'll be honest, man, I'm actually really bad at fighting games. And I'm not great at Street Fighter. You're probably much better than I am. But yeah, the name did come from, Sagat, right? But yeah, more so like it was just like some guy at the gym would like always call me Tiger Uppercut every time he saw me. And when I was thinking of like a channel name, I was like, I don't really know what to call myself, but I just remembered that. And that's kind of where I came from.
Okay, I see. Yeah, very cool. So yeah, competitive fighting games are a big part of my life, as I said, and yeah, that's why I made this connection very quickly. Okay, yeah, thank you so much for being here today. It's a big deal for me. It's great to have you on.
Yeah, no worries, man.
If you guys haven't followed Tiger, make sure to do so. You will find his channel in the top right corner right now. Alright, so we only have one topic for today's episode, and it's the link leveling system and how it influences our decisions regarding the skill orbs. We will dive into some team building here and there too. So to kick things off, Tiger, you are a global main, right?
I am a global main, yes. So when you said at the beginning of this video, you're like, we're back with another JP Dokkan video. I was like, I mean, I don't really play much JP, but I guess, but I am a global main. Yeah, I've pretty much played global since day one. I have a JP account, but I barely touch it. It's really just like something I have to like check on like a few of the new events and stuff like that when they come out. But I play like global like 99% of the time.
Yeah, cool.
Right.
So how have you used your skill orbs so far? What is your experience?
Well, honestly, my luck with skill orbs has been pretty bad. Like during the 50th year anniversary on global, when they first came out, I didn't get a single gold skill orb until like the last day. So it was like 30 days, and then literally on the last day I got a gold skill orb, and it was like a level 3 heal or something like that, So yeah, it has been great, but I mean I did get a couple level 5 attacks, a bunch of level 5 like HP and stuff like that, but for the most part, I've just been focusing on, the units I use the most and some of my, more like OP units. So like for, LR Blue Gogeta, LR Blue Vegito, giving them level 5 attacks. My level 3 additionals went to them as well. And that's kind of been the focus at the moment, But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, what about Chain Battle? Did you have some luck there with the secret treasure chest in the barber shop or not?
Not so much, man.
Okay, yeah.
Not so much. I got, actually, no, you know what? Earlier today, I did get one level 5 crit, like a silver skill orb. It was for, I think, int types. And I gave that to my 3-year LR Vegito, because I just wanted him to get more crits on his counters. So that was pretty exciting. Yeah, that was pretty much the most exciting part so far. Yeah.
I think that was a good choice. Yeah, a couple of days ago I got the silver orb for level 5 additional attacks for tech type units, and I gave that to Tech Ultimate Gohan immediately.
Of course. Good call.
So the link leveling update is a great addition, even though it's taking quite a lot of time to get those links up to level 10 due to RNG, but it impacts the game heavily in my opinion. So Dokkan has some links that provide an additional critical hit chance. Now I'm specifically talking about Dismal Future and Godly Power here. Especially Godly Power. Nolar and me already teased this topic a little bit on episode 1, but now we are diving into it a little bit more. Godly Power on level 10 provides 15% attack and an additional critical hit chance of 5%. So you might consider leaning towards additional attacks in some cases. Any comments on that, Nolar?
Yeah, I mean, because Godly Power gives you 5% crits at level 10 with linked up with another partner, if you're consistently using that unit using Godly Power as a link, you could probably put some skill orbs to additional, or even in the potential system, maybe take away 3 crit, move that to 3 additional. Really depends on how often you're going to use a unit. So I mean, there's a few we'll discuss in particular, but yeah, because Godly Power gives you that extra crit, like you said, Dismal Future does as well. It can actually influence how you, one, do the potential system, or two, determine how you want to use the skill orbs to complement your unit the best.
Yes, exactly. I think the rotation of Ella Goku and SDR Kaiken Blue Goku is a great example here, or even Ella Goku and Ella Full Power Jiren. Godly Power will always be active, so you might lean towards additional here in terms of skill orbs, not necessarily the hidden potential system, especially with UI Goku, because on super attack he disables enemies guard, so if you attack an AGL unit twice with a super attack it's still fine, especially if you gave him 20 crit in the hidden potential system. I gave him some additional attack skill orbs here. He had crit before, but I got some better additional skill orbs recently, so I replaced those, and now he has 13 additional and 20 crit. I don't know, Tiger, have you pulled Ella Goku?
I did, yeah, I got pretty lucky on his banner actually, and pulled him plus a dupe, so I was pretty stoked about that. But yeah, as far as whether or not like the link skill effects will affect my decision for like what to give units in the hidden potential system, or like as far as skill orbs go, I think it really depends on which unit we're talking about, right? I think it's a case by case basis. But the way I see it is that hidden potential skills are like guaranteed, right? Like they're always going to be there. But when it comes to the links, it really depends on what team you're running, or like which team you have these units on. So for me, when it comes to like thinking about like what skills to give the units, I've pretty much still been giving them the same skills that I would previously, because in my mind I'm like, yeah, Godly Power does give 5% more critical, but what if I'm running a team where Goku, let's say, doesn't get that link activated, or like on certain rotations, even if you have like the partner that you want like on the team, you're not getting the partner linked up, right? So yeah. For me, it's like I would still pretty much like do the same thing I did before, even though it's a nice benefit to actually obviously get the additional crit chance or evasion chance or whatever from the updated link skills.
Yeah, that makes sense. I can get on board with that, of course. We have the Ella Blue Boys as well, who share Godly Power with STR Kalk and Blue Goku. That's a rotation you can run. Unfortunately, I did not pull Ella Blue Goku and Vegeta, but Nolar did. We discussed them in the first episode already, but Nolar, have you decided what you will do with them in the near future regarding the hidden potential system?
Yeah, well, again, the kind of issue I run with the Blue Boys, well, besides pulling them, oh god, we won't talk about that. But the issue is, like, they pretty much fit on the best on a TOP team or a U7 team. So they need rainbow orbs, so there needs to be some kind of orb changer to really utilize the fact that they get those additional normals off of rainbow key spheres. So if I can get more consistency with that, then I could be more comfortable giving more crits, if that makes sense. Because if I'm guaranteed to at least get another additional normal, 1 or 2 more normals, then I'll feel more comfortable giving the physical unit more crits to capitalize on that. But as it stands, the only time you can guarantee a rainbow orb changer is really like a Sun Family team with like, the Goten, the Easy A Goten being on off rotation, or on the team, I should say, to guarantee you rainbow. So as it stands right now, I'm just giving them just the standard 12, 15 crit. 12 additional, 15 crit on the potential, and then I'm leaning evenly between the two, because getting that second additional super attack is really nice for the 12 key, because it raises their defense again. So, I'm kind of still like stuck like down the middle, like as even as possible. But if I if there is a team comp where I can guarantee more Rainbow Orbs, then I'll lean more heavily towards crit than I would additional.
Yeah, right. So it comes down to personal preference a little bit. So I mentioned the Dismal Future link as well, so I looked up some units, and from the top of my head I'm thinking about Ella Tech Goku Black and Fused Zamasu. I think in their cases Dismal Future will be active 90% of the time, or even every time, and both of them are units that could use some additional super attacks, especially because Ella Goku Black raises his defense on super attack, Fused Zamasu raises the attack of his allies for one turn like some Vegito units, so those could be units that could use some additional attack skill orbs in my opinion. I don't know what you have done, Tiger and Nolar, regarding those units yet, especially in Tiger's case.
Yeah, I definitely agree with for the Rosie and Zamasu. Yeah, they need that defense for sure. So in this case, like I said, it's a case by case situation for a unit like this, where I do feel like they could definitely benefit a lot more from raising that defense with the additional supers, and because they have that additional crit chance already from Dismal Future, which they're going to be getting a lot. In this case, I would lean more towards giving them a little bit more additionals through the skill orbs, just so we can try to get their defense as high as possible and ensure that we don't get killed by like one super. Yeah.
All right, so I already asked Nolar this a couple of weeks back, but do you think, Tiger, that Ella Tech Rose and Zamasu could receive an Extreme Z Awakening in the future?
I mean, yeah,
It feels like it's
yeah.
too soon.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it's eventually gonna happen. But like to compound what Tiger's saying, it's probably gonna be within a year from now, kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like it'll happen. And they desperately need it. Like the original 90% LRs need some kind of EZA. Really, their damage is fine. They just need some kind of defensive capability.
It's definitely the defense.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So like if they get a little more defense or something to supplement their current damage output, is fine for the most part. Maybe some need a little help, but yeah, the LR Rose and Zamasu, they'll get one. It's just it'll be within at least a year or more.
But yeah, they have big bad bosses, so if you have this link on level 10, they have some defense. It's just 25%, but it's a start.
Yeah, but they don't have any off the start of the turn, so 25% of very little, still pretty
yeah. Of course.
But I tested them out on the Realm of Gods for Battle Road stage when I pulled them, and I was pretty impressed. They still work in the current meta. Okay, yeah, they are not as good, but they are fine.
Yeah, they do work. You're just you still need to make sure you get a couple of supers off before you allow them to take any hits.
Yeah.
Otherwise, if you take a super attack, let's say at the beginning of the event, then you're screwed. Right? Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is that I played Global for almost 3 years and started JP on September 2019, and I
traitor.
pulled them. I pulled them for the first time ever last month, so I was finally able to test them out myself, and I was pretty happy with the result.
Yeah, their damage is still their damage definitely still holds up. If you have the right setup, if you have like the right support, or just have them take a couple of attacks, they can still reach really high damage numbers. Same thing with like the LR Gohan, even LR Broly with like his additional super attacks can like do good damage. It's just the lack of defense is a huge issue in today's meta. With like enemies hitting harder and harder, right? So as far as EZAs go, like I agree with Nolar. Like I just think it's way too soon for summonable LRs to be getting EZAs. But maybe within a year, if they start doing that, they don't even need to really get that much of a boost as far as damage goes. If they just add some kind of, maybe adjust their passive a little bit, or whatever to like make them more defensive, I think that'd be totally fine.
Yeah, SA 25 is enough in most cases.
Exactly.
For the offensive part. Yeah, they just need some defense. I mean, what makes LR, Rose, and Zamasu kind of complicated is you want them to take hits, so you kind of want to put them in the first slot, but now with the damage scaling on these longer events, you really need to put them in the second slot because they need to super in order to get their defensive buff.
Yeah.
To take a hit. So nowadays, if you're going to use them, they're going to be in the second slot. Their damage is going to ramp up a little slow. just because they need to take hits. The second slot may not get a lot of hits, which is why in the beginning everyone put them in the first slot. They could take be defensive fine, but nowadays that's no longer the case. Even their super attack, I think, is like 30% defense, which is decent, but
it's still not enough if you're only doing one super. You gotta do 2-3 to feel safe. Yeah,
exactly. So that's where, when they get an easy a year plus from now, they'll probably do like a 50% set 50 to 7% like defense on the start of turn, and then on the super they'll get like 50% defense, just to really pad it out a little more. And then after that they'll be fine, because like you said, SA25, all that kind of stuff. I think they're good offensively. It's just all the OGLRs. This was back 3 years ago. That time of the meta was defense didn't really matter, right? So absolutely.
Okay, so Ella Goku Black and Zamasu could use some additional attack skill orbs, but as Tiger and Nolar implied, you really have to think about your rotations first. If you are running those units on certain rotations, most of the time definitely consider the buff from the Link update. We talked about UI Goku and Kaioken Blue Goku, but if this is not the case, go with the usual stuff like Tiger said. This is pretty important, but regardless of the Link update, Zamasu and Ella Goku Black could use some additional attack skill orbs. Okay, so for the end of this video, let's pick some units as usual and recommend suitable skill orbs for them. This time it will be 6 units though, and I think you will recognize why I decided on those. So let's start with the first one. We already talked about him. It's Ella UI Goku actually, so let me show him on the screen quickly. I talked about his split already. In my case, he has 20 crit and 13 additional. He has got a level 5 gold orb and a level 2 silver orb for additional attacks. So yeah, what are your thoughts, Nolar and Tiger, on this, just to review it quickly?
Yeah, for me, I would still give him as many criticals as possible in the hidden potential system. And for this guy, I'll probably be getting that godly power link activated like 5% of the time. So I would definitely go something similar to what you did, and probably give him more additional as far as skill orbs go. Just because, with the 5% and the 20% from the hidden potential system, that's already a 50% chance to crit. So I think like just giving him more would be overkill. And like you said, with that additional super, disabling enemy's guard, he's doing good damage. Probably, a little bit more additional as far as skill orbs go.
Yeah, I don't know if this is still a thing. I tried to contact Hydros about it, but there was or still is an issue in Dokkan where the game doesn't recognize any hidden potential buffs above level 25. So yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I read about it on Reddit, and I don't know if this is still a thing. I have to get back to Hydros about that.
Well, as far as I know, Hydros has been fixed. But when we on JP, for those of you who say JP gets all the stuff, we are the guinea pigs. So when we find the bugs, we tell them they're bugs, and they try to fix it and then squash it for when it goes to global. So yeah, in the beginning, when we first had the first chain battle, people were, of course, like maximizing additionals and crits, and it was going to 27 and above, but it capped at 25. So I think it's been fixed now, as far as I know. Last time I talked to Hydros, but don't quote me on that. So I assume they will eventually fix it, because that would be a bad mechanic to leave in, a bad bug, I should say. So right now, I think it's fine, and if not, then it will eventually be fine. So. But yeah, to get back on topic with UI Ella or UI Goku, what you did with him is fine. Like, he'll get enough crits. It's better to get double additional supers, so you can potentially crit twice than it is just to crit once on an 18 key. So.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's jump to the second unit. I think you know who I am talking about. It's STR Kaioken Blue Goku. We talked about him already, and I watched a couple of videos and I noticed that the investment in the hidden potential system was different in every video I watched. Unfortunately, I did not pull him. His initial banner totally annihilated me. I don't know how many stones I invested. I think it was definitely way over 1,000, and did not pull him a single time.
Oh,
so
my
yeah,
God.
that was horrible. But I hope he will return on the upcoming Dual Dokkan Festival. I think Oresh went full additional here, which is fine. I see the point, but what have you guys done?
I went with more crits, but obviously this was before the link skill system was available. And at this point, yeah, I think I would do a more of a balanced build for him. So like I wouldn't go full additional. Like I know obviously he greatly raises attack every single super, but I like those crits too much. So I'll do probably like a split between the two, even, and then he's obviously getting more crit from the godly power link anyways. So
and he will be super effective in some instances, right?
I think it's when he's below 59% HP, right?
Yeah. So
okay.
So the thing is, it only activates once.
One
so
time.
If you manage to get double supers when he's below 59 for the first time, then both of them will be effective against all types.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a fair point too. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, so finish off your thought there, Tiger.
Yeah, no, I think the way I built him on global, like on my account right now, like I could check, but I'm pretty sure I went with all criticals actually, which kind of sucks because I kind of like if I had considered the link skill system, I probably would have gone more additional. So in this case, with this guy, I would probably give him more, just like all additional skill orbs from this point on, just to like balance it out a little bit more.
Yeah, for my Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken, I went even as much as possible. I think I went because he's STR, so he gets already 5 crit from the potential system. I went, I think 12, 14, or whatever that split is, 12 additional, 14, 15 crit, and then the skill orbs I gave him. I don't remember how many I gave him, but for what I would want to do from here on out is give him more additionals. So give him that 15% crit from the 15% crit from the potential, plus godly power. That'll put him at around 20. That's good enough for me, where I can probably throw more additional skill orbs to get his potentially get his second additional super attack out.
Okay, yeah, cool. Already got some ideas for him when I finally get him. I hope. I swear to God, I don't know what I will do when I don't pull him. But yeah, let's jump to the third unit. It's Int Alacel. He was part of the previous download celebration, so I thought why not include him for today. So I think full crit is the way to go. I don't see any reason to go for additional attacks if you actually decide to give him a skill orb. He might be an example for a unit where you don't have to give him one, but yeah, I just pulled him up here. I think he was my first LR that got the gold slot unlocked, so I gave him a level 3 crit, and I even gave him a level 5 recovery orb for the silver slot, because he is an LR and he needs a lot of ki. So yeah, what do you guys think?
Yeah, I would go full crit for this guy. There's just, I mean, additionals are always good, obviously, but like he doesn't really benefit much from the additional supers. Like you're gonna greatly lower the enemy's defense again, I guess. But it's just not enough of a benefit to me to like justify, not getting the higher chance to crit, especially because his damage, is not the most impressive for especially a Dokkan Fest LR, in my opinion.
I got a lot better with link skill, trust me.
That's true, yeah. See, I haven't really leveled up all of my link skills to level 10 or anything like that, so that definitely makes a difference, of course. But like I said, I just don't feel like giving him additionals will really help you out that much. So I would go full crit, like you said.
Yeah. So I didn't give him any crit or additionals. I gave him the super attack ones. Mostly because I just didn't have any crit or additionals, and he wasn't worth it. He wasn't worth it at the time because his damage was so low for Dokkan SLR. Now with the link skill update, he's consistently pre-transformed, hitting around 2.5 million attack stat. Of course, linked up with like the LR physical cell, so like activating a bunch of links. But when you get that off, he's actually pretty good now.
Wait, 2.5 million attack stat rainbowed?
Rainbowed, yeah. But considering before he would be below 2 million, it's an upgrade. Not the best upgrade, but it's an upgrade.
It sucks.
Yeah. Granted, when he's transformed, he's hitting closer to 3 and 4.
Right. He is much better transformed. But you like how often you're actually seeing the transformation too.
Well, and that's actually kind of funny because it's actually harder to get him to transform now because of the link skill update.
Yeah.
So it's both a good and bad thing. It's like a double-edged sword. Like, yeah, he's doing more damage, but it's he's got more defense, so it's a lot harder to get him lower to transform. So, but yeah, I personally just gave him like the level 5 super attack ones because if I did that Dokkan math video, the obviously crit and additionals, they have a better overall effect on damage or consistently, but the one thing is the super attack orbs, they factor into the multiplier, so it to me makes more sense for him because he just needs any damage output he can get. And then the sad part, he's int, which means he gets a lower chance on crit and additionals anyways, because he gets that 5 free dodge. So I just figured, all right, I just want consistent damage out of him. It's it's a better option to give him the super attack orbs than it is to just give him the additional and crit. Granted, if I had additional crits to give him, I'd probably just give him crits straight up, like you guys are saying. So.
Yeah, in my opinion, I still think crits are just the way to go. But like honestly, just like realistically, he would be definitely a lower priority for me as far as like giving crit and additionals too, because there's just so many other units that I would just much rather, I think, are much more deserving of those orbs, right? And as we discussed earlier, yeah, they're pretty rare. So even though I would give him crit orbs, given the option, I just wouldn't do it anytime soon.
Yeah, to be fair, I personally think that his task is not to deal a lot of damage. He's just there to tank and recover health,
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, it's very like what you're saying. He's probably like much lower on the priority list for most people. The only reason you would even consider him is if you needed to break through Super Battle Road, and any stage that he can get on, he is a king of Super Battle Road. He's like one of the monsters, right? Because he tanks, he does so much more damage with more enemies, he can tank better, and he can transform and heal. So, but if that's the case, if you're considering him for Super Battle Road, I would rather take the physical LR Cell because he has the healing on the 12 key, which is an AoE. So I would rather just give that guy the additional skill orbs more than this guy.
Well, ideally, wouldn't you want to bring both of them?
Well, I'm just saying, if you had to pick between the two to give skill orbs and your goal was Super Battle Road, I'd rather consider the other one, or the physical one, just for the AoE and the healing, as opposed to him where he just does more damage, period, if that makes sense. So, anyways, I think the conclusion we all can agree on is he's good. He's just much lower on the list than any other unit, Dokkan Fest LR unit you can think of. So
for sure.
Absolutely. He doesn't benefit as much from a skill up like, okay, yeah, this is an extreme example, physical Vegeta Blue, but
exactly.
Yep.
Okay, so let's go to the next one. I think this unit is very interesting because you can go both ways here. It's of course Agl Ella Gohan, part of the Dual Dokkan Festival from last year. He's a war, really. He can't get damage whatsoever, but he has to build up his defense first. Because he is at 55% in my case, I gave him a level 2 skill orb for critical hits, but I can see giving him full additional just to be there on the field and not taking any damage at all, even in those early turns.
Yeah, okay, so the thing is, you'll, like 95% of the time, he'll never transform. Okay, so you're just about that. Yeah, so you're looking strictly at his pre-transformation, which is every super attack he raises defense. So I can see people justifying giving him more additionals just to continually raise that defense. And now with the link skill leveling, he's hitting for like 4 to 5 million 24 key rainbowed pre-transformed, which when before he's hitting like 3.8, 3.6, just a little bit like around that area. So he actually does damage pre-transform. Not saying he didn't before, but he does way more damage now. So doing additionals seems to make more sense. But if you love to transform him and fulfill all the conditions, I can also see where you would want to rather give him crit, right? Because he is a nuker. You just need that one attack to just give him all the orbs and then have him crit, and then the stage is over, right? So for the most part, I would say people won't see him transform. So I will make the argument to giving him more additionals, just so you can be tanky and you still do decent damage. But if you, for whatever reason, can manage to transform a lot, I could also make the argument of giving him more crits, because he's a nuker. You give him enough orbs, you give him that crit, and he just ends the stage in that one shot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for me, this is another situation where I think I would probably go with a more balanced build. He already gets, what was it? He gets 11 additional. So if you go all crits, he still gets 11 additional from the hidden potential system. And he's building up defense really fast. Even if you don't get that additional super attack, let's say you get 1 super per turn, he's still gonna be like a couple 100,000 defense after like a couple supers, right? So like I don't think the additional super is like super necessary or like mandatory. So for me, I'll definitely do 15 crit, 11 additional in the hidden potential system, and then maybe just balance it out a little bit more with if I can get one, I would give him like a level 5 additional orb, and then probably give him a crit orb as well, so like one of each.
Yep, that sounds about right too.
Yep.
Okay, let's round this video off with 2 more units. I think we will cover them pretty fast. Let's talk about the Attack Transforming Frieza first. I think you should lean towards additional here because he's raising attack and defense on super attack.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Especially because he doesn't actually stack anymore after he transforms into Golden Frieza. So before the final transformation, you want to make sure he gets as many supers as possible. So getting an additional super would actually make a huge difference in this case.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Plus, if you do manage to get a golden, there's a super attack has a great chance to stun, which is only 70%. But as you guys know, 70%, there's still a chance you don't get it off. Yep. Getting a double super will increase the likelihood of you actually stunning the enemy if you're able to stun the enemy. That's a whole other can of worms, but yeah, I think you want to stack as much additional on him if you could.
Yeah, I think Transforming Frieza is still a pretty good TR. I really like him.
Yeah.
Let's finish things off here with the final unit. Yeah, Agl Transforming Goku. I would say don't give him any orbs at all. He is not that good. I'm not the biggest fan of him.
I mean, I'm not giving him skill orbs anytime soon, but I would probably do the same thing as I suggested with Frieza, just because same mechanic with the super attack, raising attack and defense, and if you're using him for longer events like Legendary Goku event, Infinite Dragon Ball History, then you want him to potentially get that additional second super on any of the phases before Super Saiyan Blue. And he also has that 70% chance to stun, like Nolar mentioned. So, if we suggested to do additionals with Frieza, then I think it makes sense to go the same route with Goku as well.
Yeah, no,
makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. Now, have you started link leveling either of these two?
Nope.
Okay. Because
right now has been on mostly Agl Ella Gohan, Blue Fusions, Kamehameha team basically.
Okay, because the problem with these two guys is that when they transform to another state and they get another link,
they get more links, right? Yeah,
which
so
means
more links to actually level.
Yeah, so instead of like 7 links, it's more like 10, 11 links, and they're all separate instances of them to level. So I've gotten to a point where this Goku...
Are they really worth it? Like these guys, are they really worth all that
trouble? No, they're not worth it. They're really not.
Yeah.
But I just like, okay, let's see how this works. Because I didn't know, at the time, we had no idea if like, because, the prepare for battle turned into over in a flash. So does that mean if I had a level 5 prepare for battle, I had a level 5 over in a flash? No. I found out real quick with these guys. That's not the case. So, yeah, these guys aren't really worth it, but if, a year from now, you're like, hey, I kind of want to level someone else, I mean, this is the last one to do, so.
Alright, that would cover these 6 units, and this is the end of this video as well. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope Tiger will return for future videos on this channel.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun, man. I had fun discussing with you guys, and I'm definitely down to come back for other topics in the future.
I am looking forward to it. Great. So I mentioned this on my Twitter account already. Nolar and me will do one more episode for the Skill Orbs series, and this will be the final installment. And for episode 4, I want to focus on a Q&A session. So if you have questions for us, leave a comment and Nolar and me will pick the best ones out and answer those whenever this video will go live. I can't give you an exact date just yet. We will collect questions first and then I will prepare the video for you guys. So as I said, this is the end of this video. Take care and I will see you guys soon. Bye bye.
Bye guys.
See ya.